There were two things that he liked to say on a regular basis. The second was, "Gotta be on time for your entrances." A competent director will make sure the cast knows their cues. I never once saw Larry giving anyone a cue. Robert, he starts the show on guitar. So, from the very first note, it's like, okay, is it at lights out? Is it after you make the announcements? Is it when you say, "And now I present to you, blah, 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 tandem, friend, school, rent," whatever it is, the last word, the last light, whatever, sound, somebody else in the band, whatever. Larry's like, "Robert, are you ready to run the show?" I did occasionally step in to fix something. And Larry would unfix it. Something that takes a second. He has to make sure everyone knows that he's the boss, i.e. musical director, and I'm the slave. It's the problem theater person thing. They matter. Who am I? There are 4 measures, then a repeat in the intro to the opening number of Act 2. The repeat mark is not in the score. Sometimes the cast would come in after 4 measures, sometimes after 8. Never all at the same time, always hesitant and unsure of themselves. I asked them if they were listening to the recording, and they said yes. Since the recording has 8 measures of intro, I said we'll go with that. Larry's not going to have that, is he? He's not going to have me actually be a musical director. Larry said, "No, Evan, go with whatever's in the score. Go with whatever's in the score. If there are issues, we'll deal with them when they come up." What does he think just happened? There was an issue. It's been there every time. They don't know when to come in. They don't know their entrance. The very first entrance in Act 2. The very first entrance in half of the rehearsals. Here's a question for you. If there's a discrepancy between what is on the recording and what's in the score, which do you go with? There are 2 answers to this question. It depends on the source. If it's a reliable edition, such as, Dover, with a Beethoven book, and a YouTube recording of a kid at a recital, well, you go with the reliable edition. In this case, it's the opposite, as the scores are notoriously a mess, sloppy, lots of mistakes. Those who write them know we'll have time to rehearse, and they do a quick job. The recordings, on the other hand, they are perfectionistic, as these are the CDs that everyone will hear, that they make millions of dollars selling, that will be on the radio. No one else is going to see the score. That's one reason you go with the recording. The other reason is because, as I asked them, the kids are listening to the recording. That's how they're learning it. Okay. Now, the other answer to this question actually is even more important than that. Yes, you go with the CD, not the score, in this case. But even more importantly, it doesn't matter. Just decide. Larry did not say go with 4 or go with 8. He said whatever's in the score. He doesn't even know what's in the score or care. He just had to unfix the problem that I just fixed, had to assert his authority. From that point on, towards the end of the 4th measure, I would say out loud, "Not yet." Yeah, that's right, Larry. I'm going against your musical direction. You told me to go with what was in the score, and I'm going with what's in the recording. And you don't even know. And I have to say out loud, "Not yet." That's how I got them to come in at the same time. And before showtime, I might have replaced "not yet" with something that sounded cooler, like whatever. Yeah, hit it, whatever. Something that sounds cool. Something instead of being obvious, so obvious. This decision, of course, of whether to go with 4 or 8 measures, with the recording or the score, is a decision that is made by the musical director, and this was the entrance to Act 2 meaning the first entrance of half of the rehearsals. How did that happen? I was going to point out how the recording had 8 measures instead of 4. I guess you got me on one, Larry. Maybe it was the other way around. Maybe I was telling them to do 4 and the score said 8. No, but I was telling them not yet. I can't tell them sooner after 8. I don't know what happened. This is weird. Okay, your memory plays tricks on you after a year and a half. What was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I'm a big man. I can admit when I'm wrong. Okay, Larry, you got me on one. Should have been 4. The important point still is, though, that it doesn't matter. You just have to decide as long as they come in together. But meanwhile, somehow, yep, on the recording, it's 4 measures. Oh, wait, it says that's the original Broadway cast. Ah, yeah. See, Rent School Edition has minor differences. Who knows why? They just had to make it different for whatever copyright purposes probably, and so they just made some random things. Unfortunately, I don't have, when I switch computers, iTunes always does something funny, so I have the original Broadway cast, but I don't have the school edition. So there's no way we can check it out. Oh, wait. Yes, there is. We have YouTube. We can just search for Seasons of Love School Edition and see what pops up. It's very annoying when they don't catch the first little bit. Oh. How about that? They actually did 8 measures. They did the repeat. Well, I guess you can't really tell it from just one recording, though, right? But that's cool because if you enter Seasons of Love School Edition on YouTube, 3 different videos pop up at the top before you get to a bunch of other stuff, and I'm sure there's tons of other versions there. But these top hits, let's see what they say. 525,600. Sounds so cool, doesn't it? When they all come in together. That explosion of self-expression you're looking for, Larry. Let's try the third one. We got 2 out of 3 so far. Oops. I hope nobody heard that. 525,600 minutes. Yeah, explosion of self-expression. Well, and it's not like I did my research or anything at the time because it just didn't even occur to me. And also I didn't care. But there's 3 other completely random school versions that are up on YouTube, and 3 different musical directors. We all seem to be on the same page. The important thing is, seriously, it just doesn't matter. Pick one. I fixed the problem, you unfixed it. You just couldn't give up that spotlight.